Hello everyone, my name is Aditya, and in this video we'll try to see how to use a RGB LED. So we'll learn what is an RGB LED, and we'll learn what are the different types of LEDs available, and we'll also try to make a circuit out of this RGB LED, and we'll try to program it to see different colors, and then at last we'll try to fade the LED once we set the predefined color. So first let's look at what are the materials required. We need a tricolor LED, we need an Arduino UNO board, and then we need some resistors, so 3 of them for each of the cathode pins, and we need some jumper wires, and then USB type B cable, and then a computer, of course, to program the Arduino UNO board. Okay, so this is how RGB LED looks like. It has 4 pins, and one of them is either a common cathode or a common anode, and the other are the opposite. For example, if the longest pin is the cathode, and then the other 3 will be an anode for a common cathode type, and if the longer pin is a anode for a common anode type, the other 3 will be cathode. So this is able to produce 3 different colors, red, green and blue, and by varying the intensities we will be able to produce the different colors. So just like the color mixing, we'll try to vary the intensities of the 3 colors, and then we'll try to see what different colors it produces. So we know that for varying the intensity of an LED, we need to make use of PWM outputs, which are available on Arduino UNO board. So that's what we are going to use in this project. So we'll connect the longest pin. In this project we are using a common anode type. That means it has only one anode and the other 3 are cathode. So we'll try to connect this pin to the Arduino. The common anode will connect to positive 5 volt, and the other 3 cathode will connect to PWM outputs, and then we'll try to give PWM signals to vary the intensity of each individual colors, red, green and blue, and we'll try to see what colors they emit and what colors we can obtain from mixing all these 3 colors. Okay, so let's get started.
Here we have 3 types of LEDs. The first type is of a single color and it can emit only one single color. So it has only one configuration. The longer lead is a positive or an anode, and the shorter one is a negative or cathode. Then we have a dual color LED. So in this we have 2 types of configuration. It can be either a common anode or a common cathode. So in common anode, the longest one, which is the center one, is a common anode, and the other 2 are cathode. In a common cathode configuration, the center one, which is a longer one, is a common cathode, and the other 2 are common anode. So it can emit 2 different types of colors. Then we have the third type, which is a tricolor LED. So this is capable of emitting 3 colors. In this also we get 2 configuration. One is a common cathode and one is a common anode. So in common cathode, the longest lead is a common cathode and the other 3 are anode. In a common anode configuration, the longest one is a common anode and the other 3 are cathode. So the LED that we are going to use today is a common anode type. That means the longest one is an anode and the other 3 are cathode. So to light up this LED, we need to supply a plus positive 5 volt to the longest pin, and the other 3 pins we need to make it low. So we have circuit here. So we have a main LED here. So the anode of LED is connected to 5 volt. Then one of the cathode responsible for red color is connected to pin number 3 via red wire. Then cathode responsible for green color is connected via green wire to pin number 5. Then the cathode responsible for blue color is connected to pin number 6 via blue wire. So we have resistors for each of the colors. Here I have put a parallel connection of 1 kilo ohm resistor. So that will give me 500 ohms each, 500, 500, 500 for each cathode.
Okay, let's see the programming part. So firstly, we need to define 3 PWM outputs. So let's define pins. Define red LED for pin number 3 and define blue LED and green LEDs for pin number 5 and pin number 6. Okay, so once this is defined, we need to define the color, the intensity of the colors. So for that we make use of red. Let's give it 255. Then same thing for green and blue. 55 and 255. Okay, so now the intensities are also defined. So now we need to make these pins as an output. Pin mode, red LED as output. Then similarly we have green LED and we have blue LED as an output. So once these are made as output, we know that we are using a common anode type. So all these 3 pins, let's make this high. So we can make use of digital, right? Red LED, comma, high. And same way we'll make green LED and blue LED. So this is same as giving analog, right, with 255 value as high. Okay, so now we have defined the pins and then we have made them outputs, and we also defined variables, or we have defined macros for red, green and blue. So now what we need to do is we need to define a function to set the color. So we'll void set color, then we'll give values of R, G and B. So we need to light analog, right, red LED, comma R, and the same way for green LED we'll have intensity G and blue LED of intensity B. So what this function basically does is it will give a PWM output and it will make the red LED pin, which is pin number 3, with a PWM of R intensity, then green LED with PWM of G, then blue LED pin, 6th pin with intensity of P. So all we need to do now is we defined the function to set the color. So just in the void loop, just call the function and we pass these red, green and blue values. Simply red, green and blue. Okay, so we'll try to flash our code onto the board. So click on upload. Okay, so once it's uploaded, we expect it to glow a white color because of 255 and 255, but we are not able to see any glow in the LED. So this is because the code which we have written is for common cathode type. So in the common cathode, it has a common cathode with a negative, and then all three are anodes. So we need to supply a positive to the positive 5 volts to all three anodes, and common cathode we need to connect to ground. But in this project we are using a common anode type, so we need to reverse the logic in the analog, right? So instead of R, we need to make it 255 minus R. Here 255 minus G. Here 255 minus B. So I'll just write a comment so that it's useful for everybody. So this is 255 minus R for common anode, just R for common cathode. So same thing for green and blue LEDs. Minus G and minus B. Okay, so now we'll flash this one and see whether our program works. Yes, so as you can see, the LED glows with the white color as expected because of 255 and 255. So let's see our color code and let's try some other color. For example, this is cyan color which has a value 0 for red, green 255 and then blue 255. Go here, make this red 0, green 255 and blue 255. Just will try to upload this, and I think in the video it's not that much differentiable, but in the real world we can see a cyan color. Okay, so let's try another color, maybe violet. For that we need red and blue. For violet we need red and blue. So let's try to flash this. We can see that it's glowing with violet. Okay, let's take this one step further. Let's try to dim this RGB LED. So right now I have set a violet color, and we'll try to dim this. Okay, so to change the intensity we know that we need to use a PWM, but how we can change this intensity when we are already giving a PWM inputs for the cathodes. Okay, so what we can do is instead of using a 5 volts to a common anode, we can make use of another PWM output, maybe pin number 11, and give a PWM pulse to the pin number 11 so that we'll check if we can vary the intensity. But please note that if we are using that kind of approach, we need to make sure that we have connected the resistors across this the connections, because there may be a chance that the two ports may be shorted and the resistors is absolutely necessary. So make sure that you have connected the resistors and then proceed further. Okay, so let's try to define another pin. Let's say it common, and make it 11, and define that as an output, and we'll make that as high. Okay, so we know that we need a plus 5 volt from that pin, so just make this high in the beginning. Okay, so now void setup is done, and let's see what we do in void loop. Okay, so we are varying the intensity, so let's start with the for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 255, let's go to 255, then I plus plus. So inside this we need to vary the PWM for 11. Analog right, common of pi. So we'll place a delay of maybe 100 milliseconds in each iteration. So what this basically does is from the pin number 11, which is common, so from the pin number 11 it gives a PWM pulse of varying intensity with starting from 0 and all the way up to 255 with one step increment and with a delay of 100 millisecond. Okay, so we need to make changes onto our board. So instead of connecting to positive, first we'll remove the power, then connect the pin to pin number 11 just like this, and then power it back, and then we'll try to run the code. Okay, there is some error. Okay, this is a small C. Compile this, then we'll try to upload. Okay, so as we can see that it worked. We can see that it varied from 0 brightness to full intensity. We'll see it one more time. Okay, so now it's less brightness and slowly it's increasing to maximum brightness. Okay, so this holds good for very few of the colors, because at least 2 of them are must be 255. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say we give 127 to blue, and we'll try to see this. As we can see that the blue color in the first few seconds doesn't glow, and it only glows after some time. So this is because that the blue will not get sufficient voltage, because already we are giving only less intensity for that, and a PWM on top of that will not even glow this LED, the blue color. So that's the reason we can see flickering of the blue color, but anyway the red is doing fine. So that's the reason that if we want to fade this LED, we can only achieve it for very few colors, maybe 6 colors, and at least 2 of them must be 255, and even one color can be 255. Let's say we'll try only for the red. As we can see that red is varying from intensities. Okay, so this is brightness from minimum to maximum. So let's do the same thing from maximum 255 greater than equal to 0 and I minus and with the delay, let's give it 70 this time or 50. Okay, so instead of white, we'll make this violet color, then flash this, and we can see that it glows from minimum brightness to maximum brightness, and then from maximum brightness it slowly starts to decrease and go to the minimum brightness. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. So in this tutorial we learned how to use a tricolor LED and how to make different colors out of that, and we also tried to fade this preset. For a preset color, we tried to fade the LED with varying intensity, and as we saw, it's only we can fade it for few colors. Not all colors are possible with the fading logic. And one more thing that we need to make sure that when we are using the fading logic, we need to make sure that we connect the resistor to avoid damaging our board. Okay, so that's it for the tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll meet soon. Thank you.